Hey guys, Chris and Sherry here.
Also known as the girls.
We're going to do another gear video for you today. We're going to go over 3 systems we're going to be carrying with us on the trail. The first is our cooking system, how we're going to prepare our food, how we're going to carry it, all that.
Also our water filtration system.
Yep, we need to be able to filter water out there.
Yes.
And the third and final system is going to be our bathroom system, how we're going to poop in the woods.
This is taking a turn.
We're going to go there. So let's just get right to it, okay?
Here we go.
Hope you enjoy it. Let's do it. Okay, so this represents everything we need to carry our food and prepare and eat our food while we're on the trail. So I'm going to grab some individual pieces here and talk about them and how we're going to use them. So the first part of this food system here, the main part, is our cooking pot, stove, and fuel canister. So the cooking pot is a Toaks Titanium 1100 milliliter pot. What does it weigh, Sherry?
4.9 ounces.
So this weighs 4.9 ounces. Very, very lightweight. There's not a lot to this. It's got a lid, just a very lightweight pot. Handles fold down. We're not actually going to cook in this. This is mainly just for boiling water. That way we don't have to worry about cleaning it out at night. We don't want to do dishes on trail. Sherry made a really good point here earlier. So this is just for boiling water. We can measure the amount of water we have. These collapsible Sea to Summit mugs here, they collapse down to this and then they pop over to this. There's marks inside. It's a 2-cup capacity, so we know if we need to boil 2 cups of water for a meal, we have 2 cups of water going in. Or we got the larger pot, so we can do 4 cups of water at a time and only boil it once, and then we can each eat dinner or breakfast at the same time. These cups weigh, what do they weigh, Sherry? The Sea to Summit cups?
2.4 ounces?
2.4 ounces each. So we'll each be carrying our own cup, I think. Or maybe you might carry both of them in yours with the whole cook system. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll probably just carry both of them.
Yeah. So these cups essentially go with the cooking system. The stove is an E-Tech City stove. It has its own igniter right here. When you press this, you see a little spark right there. And let me light it for you and show you how it works. You just turn this till you hear the gas flow. Right there, hit the spark, and there she goes. And you can adjust the flame however you need, high or low. Shut that all the way off. Did we say what the stove weighed?
The stove weighs, with the case, 3.9 ounces.
Yep, so it has a carrying case, so this collapses down and it will fit into this case. We might just ditch this after a while, but for now we're going to bring it. We just want to make sure that the stove doesn't break. This little igniter part here could easily just bend off or something.
And if it does, we will be carrying an extra lighter.
Yeah, we have an extra lighter that's gonna come with us too. So that's the stove and its carrying case. Now let's show you how this folds up. This is really neat. So these arms, these little legs here, just fold in, make them nice and small, and then these fold around like that, and then this thing just unscrews from the canister. You might hear a little pop. Let's see. Nope. Let's fold this up here onto itself. Put it back into the case real quick. This will go into the bottom of the pot. And then it's just a standard fuel canister. These are available anywhere. This is a Coleman brand. It's a butane propane mix canister.
The larger size, it weighs 12.9 ounces.
Yep, we're going to carry the larger size because we're going to be boiling double the water. We want to make sure we have enough to get us from town to town. If this isn't empty when we get into town, but we know it's getting there, we'll drop it in a hiker box somewhere and just buy a brand new canister and bring it with us. So all of this will fit into the pot. Let's fold those down. I'll go there. This goes into the carry bag here. We're gonna put the lid on here. These cups just collapse down. These will go on top. And this cinch down around there nice and tight. One compact unit right there. Another thing, did I mention the towel?
No.
We're going to carry a small towel, a small piece of cloth actually inside the pot as well, just to dry things out when we need to. And the extra lighter?
Use it as a hot pad or something.
That's true. Yep, use it if we need to. If the handles are warm, we can grab the handles, pull the lid off if we need to. So that's our stove and our cook pot. Let's move on to the next process. So now that we have our hot water, if you watched our previous video on our repackaging the Mountain House freeze-dried meals from number 10 cans into serving size bags, we'll take a bag like this. This just happens to be the macaroni and cheese. And this is 2 servings worth. We've done everything 2 servings, and that will be a meal for one of us. We'll open this up, we'll pour the hot water into it. We'll take our long-handled titanium spoon with the polished bowl that weighs
0.7 ounces.
0.7 ounces. And we'll give that a little stir inside there. We can kind of mash it up a little bit, mix it up real well. Then we'll take this bag, we'll seal it, get all the air out, and we'll stick it into this koozie. There's 2 of these we've made to keep things warm. So we'll take this, we'll fold this over, and like lean this against a rock or a tree or something, keep it closed and let it soak and rehydrate for the 5 to 7 minutes it needs to. And then we can come back and we can open this up, fold it over the bag here, and just eat right out of there with the spoon. Just eat right out of the bag. When we're done, we have an empty bag for garbage. We'll add that into our garbage sack. On days that we don't want to cook or boil water, either it's too hot or we just don't feel like spending the time to boil water, we're going to cold soak. And what that is you take a jar, this is just a peanut butter jar, and you add like a tabbouleh to it, something that will soak with cold water. It'll essentially like rehydrate itself. This works great. I love this stuff. This is one of my favorites. Put this in here with an amount of water. Take your spoon, stir it up, put the lid back on, and now you can walk on trail while this is rehydrating. And when you're ready to stop for a snack, lunch, whatever, you can just eat right out of this. Again, no dishes needed. Put some clean water in when you're done, swish it around, and drink all the leftover goodies out of the jar. So this is another option for eating if we don't either have time or choose not to boil water.
Or if it's just too hot and we don't want any hot food.
Yep, there's that option too. So the cold soaking works with a lot of things. We can do it with oatmeal, and then boil a little water, add hot water to it to finish, the consistency, make it a little more palatable, and warm it up a little too. So there's a lot of options for doing cold soaking. We might do that more than not, especially when it gets warm. Another thing we're bringing is a knife. This is a Victorinox knife. And the weight on this was...
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
It's very minimal.
Yeah. Anyway, it comes with this sheath, and the sheath locks on there really, really tight. But it's got a nice serrated blade on it.
It's 0.8 ounces.
Is it 0.8? Okay, perfect. Nice serrated blade. It's real sharp. This would be great for if we bring a little thing of salami with us. Just cutting things that we need for food-wise. We have little pocket knives we're bringing, but we don't want to use that to,
Cutting cheeses.
Yeah, if we use that small knife to cut line, we don't want to use it to cut food. So
Avocados.
Yeah. All right. So that takes care of this component of how we're going to cook and eat. Now let's show you how we're going to carry the food that we're bringing. So let's get into that. So the final component to our food system is protecting our food. This is just a random sampling of things we're going to bring. We'll get more into detail on how we're going to actually pack the food bag when we're ready at that point. But there's 3 ways to carry your food on trail. One is your standard hanging bare bag, which is just kind of a water-resistant sack that you put your food into, and you clip it onto a line, and that line is thrown up over the branch of a tree, and
with the help of a rock and a bag.
With the help of a rock and a bag, which can swing back and injure you or your neighbors.
You have to find a low-hanging branch, which are really hard to find.
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons why it's not not an easy system. It's just
You have to find the right branch, and
Yeah.
it has to be such a certain distance high and further enough away from the trunk of the tree.
yeah.
And it's just a real pain.
Yeah. So the last thing we want to do at the end of the day is struggle with trying to find the exactly perfect place to hang a bag. So that's one system is your standard bear bag. Another system is a bear canister, which is just like a hard plastic drum with a screw-on lid. I think it might latch down somehow. It's pretty bear resistant, but now you've got to find a way to hide that somewhere so a bear doesn't just walk off with it in the middle of the night or
Takes up a lot of room.
takes up a lot of room. It's something that isn't easily compactable. The third system that we've decided to go with is an Ursack bear bag. This is the Ursack Almighty. It's made of a material that bears can't claw through, and the Almighty that we chose to go with is also rodent proof. So little teeth can't just chew through a corner of the bag. It has a really good tie down system. So what you do with this is you cinch it really tight. We can go into how we do this at another point. You tie it. You make a series of 2 overhand knots essentially on this. So you tie this closed once you've cinched it down tight, and then the remainder of the line you take and you tie around a low hanging tree branch. You tie it to a rock. You tie it to something, secure it to something. And with the knots, the bear can't untie the knots that you make. There's a certain way to make a knot on here that will cinch it down and secure it to something. So the bear can't take it and run away with it. And inside this, lining this, is what's called an op sack. It's an odor-proof bag, odor-proof and waterproof bag. So this goes inside of the bear bag. So your food and your garbage has to go in here as well. You have to put anything with odors, garbage, toiletries, your toothpaste, anything with odors, all go inside of this bag, inside of the food bag, and this then gets put someplace that a bear is not going to get. So let me show you how, just a quick...
Pretty much the worst thing that could happen is the bear could squish it.
The bear could squish it, and you could wind up with,
everything being in a powdered form.
a bag full of crumbs and powder. But at least you still have your food. So the Velcro closure on this is really strong. Here, and inside here we've got our op sack. So essentially you just take all your food, however you're organizing your food, and you just throw it all in here. Throw it all in here. Keep it down in your bag. It's got a double Ziploc style feature. You just close this up really well, blow the air out of it. Fold this down in there. Get your Velcro closure back. And again, on top of this would be like our trash would be on here. And our toiletries, toothpaste and such. You just do your thing there. Cinch it down, tie it up, and tie it onto a tree. So the Ursack Almighty, the black bag, has a weight of
11.2 ounces, so it weighs more than just a regular standard bear bag, which is just like a really light, dry bag looking thing. So it's a little bit heavier, but just the overall convenience of it, of not getting into camp and being tired and having to go search around for a low-hanging limb that's just the perfect hang is just...
Yeah, so I mean, really, imagine getting into camp, you're tired, now you've got to set everything up, you've got to cook and do all your
chores,
brushing teeth, cleaning up, and then you've got to go and you've got to take a rock in this sack, throw it over a branch, oh, I missed. Throw it over another branch, oh, I missed.
Oh, it's tangled up.
Yeah.
And just the odor-proof bag inside only weighs like 3.4 ounces.
Yeah, so like Sherry said, it's a little more weight than a standard bear bag, but we think for the convenience of it, this would be the way to go. So that's our food system, how we're going to carry it, cook it, and store it. So I guess water's next.
On to water filtration system.
Yep. Here's our water filtration system. There's really a very simple process here. Only a few components to the system. We're using the Sawyer water filter. This is pretty much standard for thru hikers. This is the most popular brand of filter. It's very lightweight. This is dry. We haven't used it yet. It weighs
2.5 ounces.
2.5 ounces. We like using smart water bottles in conjunction with this. We're not using any other bag with it to filter the water through because the smart water bottles are threaded. They have matching threads to the filter. So all you do is you take your empty smart water bottle. We're going to use the 1 liter bottle. A liter of water weighs 2.2 pounds, so it's heavy. Water's heavy. So you take your 1 liter smart water bottle, you fill it up in your stream, waterfall, wherever your water source is. This will thread directly onto the top of this, and then you take it as a unit and you squeeze it into your smaller bottle. This is a 700 milliliter bottle. What does this weigh full of water, Sherry? I forget.
A 700 mil weighs about 1.9 pounds.
Okay, so just about 2 pounds. It's very similar in weight. So you just filter this directly into that. Once this is full, you guzzle it down, fill it again, and then you can refill this up so you have a full one of these to bring with you, and you've got one of these as well. Another really great feature to using smart water bottles is the smaller ones come with this flip top cap. Makes it real easy to drink while you're walking. You don't have to unscrew something and worry about losing the cap. You always have the cap attached. Drink right through that. And if your filter ever gets clogged, which it can happen, little bits of stuff get in there.
Well, you'll do it on a regular basis anyway.
That's true. That's a very good point. You keep it clean so it doesn't clog. You take the end of the filter here, you take the squirt cap off, and there's a little hole right there that fits right onto the top of this. So you just put this on here, invert the whole thing, and back flush it. So you can backflow the water through it. You do it with clean water. Flow it through there, and you can make sure you keep your filter clean. We do have another carrying option for water. It's called a CNOC bag, the letter C, N-O-C. That's actually coming Monday, I think. And we chose to go with a larger capacity bag. It's a 3 liter bag.
Only weighs 3 ounces.
It's very, very lightweight, and it's a material.
And it folds up very small.
Material similar to this.
That's squishy.
It's like a silicone-ish
Rolls
material.
up.
So you can, and it's threaded properly to accept the end of the Sawyer filter. So you can thread this onto the end of the CNOC bag and roll it up and squirt your water out through the filter that way.
We'll be using that at, we get into camp, we're using it at night to have extra water to cook and clean with. And anytime that water sources may not be readily available, we'll load up on water.
Yeah, if there's a long period between reliable water sources, we can do this system so we're drinking and carrying what we're drinking, and then we have the 3 liter option to carry with us in case the next water source is either non-existent or questionable.
If the temperatures drop, if there's any chance of freezing whatsoever, we will be sleeping with this little filter.
Yep.
To keep it warm. Also, if we're hiking and it's freezing, we'll be putting it on our body somewhere to keep it warm.
Yeah, an inside pocket of your jacket. So we'll stick this in a Ziploc bag and sleep with it at night if need be, or hike with it right next to us during the day to keep it from freezing. Because once it freezes, it doesn't work. You need to throw it out. So what you see here, we're each carrying this. So there's 2 filters, 2 small bottles, 2 big bottles. So we're each going to carry this with us.
Couple extra O-rings,
Yep.
couple extra flip top caps.
Flip top caps here. We're going to carry a few extra of those. These little O-rings inside of here. I guess we've heard these can come out. It's kind of like your garden hose when you attach your garden hose, that little ring in there, that little rubber ring to seal it. I guess these can pop out and just get lost. So we'll carry a few extra of those with us, so we always have them. See what else about the water. Some people carry like tablets or Aquamira drops as a backup to filter their water. We're not going to do that. We have a backup of another system. The likelihood of us having both systems fail is not very likely. So we're not carrying any other options for water filtration right now. This will be it. Anything else about water? I think we're good. So we'll leave you here with that, and we'll move on to our bathroom system. Now the moment you've all been waiting for, potty talk. You ready? Okay, here we go. So as women hiking in the woods, we have basically two options for going number one, two options for peeing. The first is drop our pants and squat, and that may or may not include us removing our backpacks. May or may not include squatting over a poison ivy bush. I don't know. Not a lot of fun. The second option is to use a device. This is called a P-Style, the letter P-S-T-Y-L-E. And basically all it is a hard plastic device.
With a trough.
With a trough, nice deep trough. You just basically unzip your pants, insert it, lean forward and go. It's wonderful. You can pee standing up. You can pee behind a tree. You don't need to, worry about dropping your pants and having somebody come down the trail at an inopportune time. Very handy, very convenient.
Just shake it dry.
Yep, it's like a hydrophobic material. So when you're done, you just shake it out dry. You can take a little water, just squirt some water in there, rinse it out.
There's all kinds of options now for women. They're making all kinds of different devices for women. Mm-hmm. We like this one just because of the simplicity of it. There's not a bunch of parts, mm-hmm. and it's pretty narrow. It packs down fairly compact. Chris is going to keep hers in her little
this little pouch right here.
Pouch that comes with it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And it's rigid. It has some substance to it. So when you're actually using it, you don't feel like there's something flexible or flimsy that is not staying where it should, and mm-hmm. All of a sudden now you've got a mess. So this is what we're using.
I can attest. Some of our gear hasn't been tested, but that certainly has. Yep. I use mine all the time.
Yep. Very, very convenient. Along with this, for middle of the night bathroom trips, we're going to use a well-marked peanut butter jar, so we don't have to completely get out of our tent and walk somewhere behind a tree. We're just going to pee right in our vestibule into the jar, and when we get up in the morning, we'll walk off and dump it. Always hand sanitizer available. Keep yourself clean. What else about peeing? Anything else about peeing? We good?
I think we're good.
Okay, let's move on to poop. We're talking about pooping in the woods.
Keep that hand sanitizer handy.
Keep the hand sanitizer handy. We will be carrying, one of these is mine, one is Sherry's. This is called the Deuce 2. I don't know if you can zoom in on that, it's a little shiny. It's an ultralight trowel, it weighs 0.6 ounces. It's got some substance to it, it's strong. What you want to do is get well off trail. You want to be 200 feet away from any water source or a campsite or a shelter. And you want to be able to dig a hole at least 6 inches deep, 6 to 8 inches deep. And you go in that. Carry a little bit of toilet paper with us, take care of the business, squirt a little bit of water in the hole, find a sturdy stick, stir the whole mess up, and bury it with your trowel. Place a rock on top of that and take the dirty end of your stick and put it in the ground right next to it so that somebody coming along, maybe needing to use the bathroom, won't dig in your same spot. You want to mark it well. Again, hand sanitizer, always. There's privies available on the trail. Just about at every shelter will have a privy, and that's just essentially an outhouse, just a pit in the ground. Sometimes they're not the cleanest. Sometimes, and that's not saying that they're full of crap. I mean, sometimes there's just spider webs, cobwebs. There can be snakes living in there. Along with maybe not being the cleanest. So, are we going to use privies? We'll try not to. I'd rather poop in the woods.
Me too.
So there's the main bathroom components. Now, one other thing that we have to deal with as women on the trail is our periods. So how do we deal with that? Well, what I'm going to do is just as I would in normal everyday life, use tampons. I'm going to use the ones without an applicator so that there's no extra garbage. Again, hand sanitizer before and after.
Dr. Bronner's soap,
Dr. Bronner's soap, yep.
which we will also be using after we go number
Oh, that's
2.
right.
We forgot to put it there.
Yeah, there's no Bronner's here. Dr. Bronner's soap to wash up real well afterwards. But the dog poop bags, are for packing out the tampons. The last thing you want to do is have messy things visible in your garbage bag. So tampons will be picked up in a dog poop bag just as you'd pick up after your dog, tied off, and that'll get thrown into the garbage bag. What else for bathroom? Did we cover everything for bathroom?
I think so. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, the cooking system was the most involved. Everything else was pretty basic and easy. What's that?
You just have to build up your legs for.
Yeah, building up the legs for squatting while you poop. There's many different positions. If you really want to, go ahead and Google pooping in the woods or pooping positions.
That's right. There are.
There's
You
videos.
can hold on to trees.
Yep. And people have named them like you wouldn't believe. So it's pretty comical.
That's funny.
Anyway, main thing is to make sure you're covering your waist properly. You're doing your business properly. Off trail, so far away from water sources and things, and you're using your hand sanitizer and soap. Those are the main things. You don't want to spread disease over your hands, and you don't want to have an opportunity for somebody to come along and redig in your hole, or for toilet paper to be strewn about the trail. You want to make sure you bury everything well, dig a nice deep hole, and take care of business and be responsible about it.
Leave no trace.
Leave no trace. Yep. Okay.
That wasn't too scary.
I think we're okay. Yeah. If you're still watching, thank you very much. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like our videos. More gear videos will be coming up soon. Thanks for watching.